What's happening, everybody? It's Sean with reactions to the classics. And today we got a creepy song battle. We got Hüsker and their song Diane versus Sufjan Stevens and his song John Wayne Gacy Jr. Brought to us by a friend, a longtime supporter and patron of the channel, T-Super. Appreciate you, T-Soup. Appreciate all the patrons who make this thing go. If you'd like to support us in any way, check out that Patreon link below or the Patreon link on the end screen. We could not do it without them. And T-Super says, April song battle, because it's April 2024 when I'm filming this, is kind of creepy. In fact, the creepiest two songs from artists in my collection. Don't listen before going to bed. Might give you nightmares. He's giving you this PSA, man. Take that under consideration. All right, you see it below. First off, we got Hüsker Diane off the EP Metal Circus all the way back in 1983. T-Super says, a Grant Hart song. Diane is about the murder of Diane Edwards in 1980. She was a waitress in West St. Paul, Minnesota, and someone Grant Hart knew. I found out she's a waitress at Perkins. Shout out to Perkins. I spent a lot of time in Perkins in Omaha, Nebraska when I was a kid. The song is sung through the eyes of the killer, but as Hart explained later, it was in no way sympathetic to the killer. Yet Hart's vocals and lyrics capture this creepy, sick mind of this evil person well. The luring of Diane into his car, the build of tension in the singer's voice from flat to pleading, and the repeated call of Diane, Diane, Diane of the chorus, chilling. Bob Mould's trademark fuzzy guitar adds a serrated edge in the bridge that's scarily fitting. The insistent bass and drum patterns propel this sick tale. A classic song that Hart gave up playing for a while because of its subject matter. Enjoy, but don't enjoy, if you know what I mean. All right, great write-up. I did research on these two songs, but T-Soup summed them up perfectly, so I'm just using everything that he said. I'll have the lyrics up as always. Thanks again, T-Soup. All right, Diane, Hüsker do. I mean, T Soup summed up this song perfectly. The guitar solo in there really brings you in, and the drums and bass are fantastic, just lending that, or use his words, a creepy atmosphere. And I mean, Grant's really is talking at the start. He really doesn't get through after the first verse. He doesn't really get into singing until, I mean, he's not even really singing, but this the kind of yelling of Diane, Diane, and he does it 3 different times in the quote chorus as we unfold through the song, and you find yourself singing that with him on the last one, or I did. But he lures her into the car and then tells her there's a party. Why don't you come down there with me? And then at the end, he's going to kill her, puts her clothes in a nice little pile. So yeah, I think, early Hüsker Du, and T Soup actually mentioned in the write-up, the production's very lo-fi. And I did a Hüsker Du top 10 for another one of our patrons. Slade said that's fantastic. So check that out. It's up on the channel. And you find that with the early stuff, it's very much mixed to the background, but it kind of helps with this song because the lyrics, and the vocals are kind of back here and the music's here, and they barely ever meet 50-50, but in most mixing, the lyrics are way to the forefront. So yeah, it's just really well done. I had never heard Diane before, but I have heard this song. I mean, I don't know it greatly. We got Sufjan Stevens, John Wayne, and Gacy Jr. from his awesome album Illinois from 2005, which we do have a reaction up to. T Soup says the only song I know as creepy as Diane is indeed equally as creepy. Sufjan Stevens is John Wayne Gacy Jr. Much quieter in tone than the Hüsker Du song, but just as disturbing. The stark piano and acoustic guitar accent Stevens' more hushed vocal style, storytelling of the serial killer's sick, twisted mind. When he hits the falsetto, drawn-out cry of the lyric, "Oh my God, it will raise the hair on your arms." This is my favorite Sufjan Stevens album, and this is one of his best songs. I sometimes have to skip over it, though, as it's just so dark and so creepy. Again, enjoy, but don't enjoy, if you know what I mean. And don't listen before you go to bed. If you know who John Wayne Gacy Jr. was, he's an American serial killer and rapist born in Illinois who sexually assaulted and murdered at least 33 teenage boys and young men between 1972 and 1978. He was convicted of 33 murders and sentenced to death for 12 of these killings. He's executed in May of 1994. On all of that jury news, let's get to it.
His father was a drinker, and his mother cried in bed. Folding John Wayne's t-shirts when the swing set hit his head. The neighbors, they adored him for his humor and his conversation. Look underneath the house there, find the few living things riding fast in their sleep. Oh, the dead. 27 people, even more. They were boys with their cars, summer jobs. Oh my God. Dressed up like a clown for them, with his face paint white and red. And on his best behavior, in a dark room on the bed, he kissed them all. He'd killed 10,000 people with a sleight of his hand, running far, running fast to the dead. He took off all their clothes for them. He put a cloth on their lips, quiet hands, quiet kiss on the moon. And in my best behavior. I am really just like him. Look beneath the floorboards for the secrets I have hid.
All right, Sufjan Stevens, John Wayne Gacy Jr. So this song is more interesting, right? Diane was menacing in the arrangement. This song is not. This is a typical Sufjan style until he, decides he wants to go a little EDM on occasion. But so if you're not paying attention to the lyrics, it just has the pleasant melody and his soft voice, and you don't really understand what this thing is about. But he tells the story of John Wayne Gacy, and one of the interesting lines is when the swing set hit his head. So he got hit in the head, in the front of his head, by a swing set when he was young. And research tells you that 40% of all serial killers had a frontal lobe, the front of the head injury when they were young. I don't know, man. Just a crazy little fact there. So he tells the story looking under the house. That's where a lot of the bodies were hid, not all of them. He dressed up like a clown for them because in his adult life, he dressed up like a clown and worked as a clown, worked kids' birthday parties and stuff. That would be terrifying later on if he worked it and once he was caught. And he kissed them all. He'd kill 10,000 people. So not literally. So either if he could or just the fear of him out there killed the spirit and souls of these people. At the very end on the outro, in my best behavior, I'm really just like him. Look beneath the floorboards for the secrets I have hid. So in that, there can be a lot of things that are secrets that Sufjan has. Sufjan's a devout Christian, but at that time, maybe he hadn't admitted that he was gay. I don't know. And then so he felt like he was doing so. I don't know. I don't want to speak into it from him, but Sufjan's a very smart guy. Absolutely just extremely talented artist. If you don't know his stuff, type it in the search bar above. I've got top 10s of him that one of our other patrons, Osmond, did. We got album reactions to this album. We got some stuff up, so go check that out. But a really, really well done song. I mean, he's fantastic. So now we're going to get to the winner. But really, as I do that, let's unfold really the questions that T. Soup asked. So we asked the questions, which is creepier? I think Diane's creepier just because of the arrangement, right? What do you think of songs that tell these tales? That's interesting. Grant said he wouldn't play that song for a long time because he didn't want to. I read a quote where I read an interview of his, and he said, I didn't want to be a monster. I didn't want to put on the face of a monster every concert. I don't know, honestly. I think Diane was good because Diane told the story of poor Diane and what happened to her. Even though it was told from the rapist's point of view, it still didn't name him. It didn't glorify him. It was the terror you felt for poor Diane. John Wayne Gacy Jr. is not glorifying, but it is making him a little more famous. Like if you didn't know who he was, and I just told you, now you know who he was. So I don't know. I don't think it's wrong to do these, but I don't really know what I feel about doing them. And then which song is better? That's a tough question too. I think Diane is creepier. I think John Wayne Gacy Jr. makes you think more and tells his story maybe in a little more detail. Although I knew his story and had read about it, so the lines made sense to me. If you didn't know his story, I don't think you'd know about putting on the face of the clown, that stuff. So for me, the better song is going to be Diane, just because I think it conveys the emotion of it better. But it's a toss-up, man. So I think it's Diane. So let me know what you guys think down below. Which song's better? Which song's creepier? And what do you think of these types of songs? Thank you to TC for bringing this one. And until next time, guys, I will see you.